What is up, guys? My name is Chris, and this is a video with Homes in 5, and something that is a little bit new. So I haven't done one of these videos in never, so this is something incredibly new. I've never actually decided to do something like this before, but it's basically going to be an opinion video. Now, if you're rolling your eyes and going, oh, opinions, who cares? Then you can stop the video right here, because I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on the Battlefield 4 beta. Now, I have been playing this over the past week or so. I downloaded it on my PC, I've been playing it with some friends, playing it by myself, and just seeing how it performs. And so far, I am both happy and disappointed. Now, there are a few reasons for this, and that's what we're going to go into right about now. The beta is open now. It's for everyone to play. It is public. You can play whatever, whenever, wherever. Not so much wherever. It's actually only on Siege of Shanghai. But there are 3 game modes available now after they've released a new one. There is Conquest, Domination, and Obliteration. Now, Obliteration is a new game mode. If you haven't seen it already, there probably are some videos on YouTube explaining it, but I'm not going to explain it all because that'll just waste time in the video. But I've played Siege of Shanghai in those 3 different game modes, and I've enjoyed them all except for Domination. Now, the reason for this being, now, Siege of Shanghai, when you're playing 32 to 64 players, they're the 2 different player caps, I guess, you get by default. It is well spaced out, the map is dynamic. No one can camp on roofs because they're incredibly high. And like if you're all the way up at like the top of the skyscraper, it's pretty hard to pick people off all the way down the bottom. Now, on the other hand, if you're playing the same map on Domination, the 3 points that you can capture are spread around the map and are incredibly accessible if you decide to spend your entire game on the top of the roof situated in the middle of the map. Now, myself and a friend of mine named Jesse actually played this, and this is probably the epitome of frustration for this particular game. Or these particular games, sorry, when the entire enemy team basically decided to sit and camp on the roof of the entire game. Now, not only was this infuriating every time we respawned to be shot in the head by a sniper, rained down on with SMG or LMG bullets, or just assault rifles in general, or to have a grenade launcher spammed in our general direction. Now, when you're respawning a battlefield, if you're playing Domination, your respawn time isn't incredibly long, but you want to actually get somewhere. Now, when our team eventually did manage to capture all 3 points, the game was over in less than 10 minutes because the enemy team did not make an effort to actually capture those flags. Instead, we were the ones capturing and dying a lot in the process. So, this was less than frustrating and made for probably one of the worst types of Battlefield 4 games I've ever played. And with this being said, with this opinion being made about the game in terms of just one map, and the full game being less than a month away now, it's the 29th of October, so we've only got something like 19 days away from today. And if the final game, if this map, Siege of Shanghai, reflects anything of the final product when this game does come out 100%, then I'm going to be very, very upset, to say the least. Now, Battlefield 4 so far isn't, I guess it's not the most revolutionary game. Like, I love the Levolution thing. I think that whole added spectacle in the game, like having something that completely changes the area that you're playing in, is pretty cool. But apart from that, and some added vehicles, the fact that you can dive underwater, there's a few more character animations. The game looks a lot better now, like, or not heaps better, but like the textures and everything. If you're playing this on Ultra, you're gonna sit there and go, "Wow, is this real life?" Guns sound really, really nice, and there's a whole new bunch of things you can change. But apart from that, it's really, I guess, the same game. Like, if you break it down to the most important parts of the game, it's still Battlefield the way that they intended you to play it with Battlefield 3, plus a few awesome things. Now, talking about the UI, now that I've vented my frustration with the way that the actual maps play so far, the UI and the way that you choose your classes and weapons is also rather cluttered and confusing. Now, if you've played the beta and you've jumped on there and you've checked it out and you've seen basically the spawn in screen and all the little prompts on the right hand corner telling you what does what and who goes where and how you do things a lot easier, then those prompts are helpful. In the beta they keep popping up, so that's a bit frustrating, but it won't in the final game. But on the left hand side, when you're picking your classes and customizing everything, that is also very confusing. Now, something that I do like is the fact that your class choices and your customization are all in the same screen. That's cool. Instead of in Battlefield 3, you can actually leave the screen and completely customize everything. You've got that second screen outside of the game that you can customize your classes in, or you can do it in game, but you don't get to choose your attachments. Now everything is in the spawn screen, so that is kind of cool. I like that they've done that. But as I said before, it's incredibly cluttered, and it could have been sorted out a lot better. In terms of the UI or the HUD that you get when you're actually playing in-game, I like that. I find that a lot easier to read. Something really subtle that I'm going to point out, but I like that grenades, when they're thrown, are a bit more prominent. And it's kind of like screaming at you like, hey, I'm going to blow up in your face if you don't move. I found that, not that it's a huge deal, but I found that the glowing red dot that happened, or that came up in Battlefield 3, was a bit more subtle, considering like everything is so shiny in that game and everything's just lights and lens flare. So a little bit more, a little bit easier to spot, and I found myself not dying as much. With these 2 points, I guess, being emphasized and going over those, that is probably the main thing. Those are probably the main things I'm disappointed with throughout the beta. Mainly the maps, and my fingers are crossed incredibly hard. I don't know if that even makes sense. I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed that basically the final game and other maps that haven't been released yet are nowhere near as campable, to put it simply, as this one. Because Siege of Shanghai Domination is something I'm going to avoid unless I'm playing with the right group. I may pick to play between 9 and 3 on a normal day so that there's no school kids at home, and then my chances of picking up a camping team or a camping opposition are going to be less than high. Leave your opinions if you've played the beta down in the description. I'd like to see what you guys think. Hope you've enjoyed this gameplay going on. I've just clipped up one entire match that I played of Conquest on the large sized map for Siege of Shanghai, and unfortunately no skyscraper falling down, which kind of sucks, but really fun. And yeah, I hope you liked the video. This has been a very first opinion piece video with Homes of 5. Go on, rate, subscribe, do all the cool stuff, and feel free to check out everything Homes of 5 down in the description below. This has been another episode of Homes of 5. Bye bye!